Welcome to Quick Rip. Big B here with you. Hope you're doing well out there, fight fans. Hey, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different here today. Something I've never really talked about on Bowls, Beers, and Brawls channel. Actually, two things I've never really talked about. Number one being traditional boxing. I don't talk about it much. I don't watch it much. It's just not my thing. I find MMA a little bit more my pace, and obviously been getting into the bare knuckle because I find bare knuckle 5-10 times more exciting than traditional boxing. Like I say, traditional boxing usually just isn't my thing unless you're talking Mike Tyson, shit like that. The other thing that I don't normally talk about, never really have, is Jake Paul. Because we got Jake Paul taking on the one and only Anderson Silva. That's going down this Saturday, October 29th. Live from Glendale, Arizona. I went back and forth in my mind about even talking about this fight. But the more I think about it, the more I actually like it. Now, it's not one that I'm going to say I'm fucking pumped to see. Can't sleep. Not on the UFC 280 excitement level exactly. But I do believe that this is a stellar fucking matchup here. And it's one worth noting, worth checking out at least. Now that the whole event, probably not, but this main event of the evening of this MVP promotion card, it's good. Let's be honest, folks, it's good. Whether we want to admit it or not, Jake Paul is 5-0 as a fucking boxer. 6-0 if you include his one amateur bout. Now, the biggest thing with Jake Paul that I hear all the time, constant barrage of fight a boxer, Jake. Well, he's tried. It's not that he hasn't tried to fight boxers. Number one, boxers do not want any of that fucking smoke. They lose to a YouTuber in Jake Paul. When you're a professional boxer, you take that L, and I don't know if there's any coming back from that. There's just no fucking boxers that want to take the risk. I mean, boxing is a completely different beast, and guys aren't going to take fucking fights that are risky and don't really pay off. I mean, what's a professional boxer beats Jake Paul? Does it up that boxer's stock? No. Let's be honest, no. That boxer loses to Jake Paul. Does his stock go down? Fuck yeah, drastically. That's the only reason that Jake Paul is not fighting boxers. Boxers aren't going to fight him. It just doesn't seem to be happening. Now, you got to give him credit. 5-0. His competition is iffy at best. I mean, Tyrone Woodley, he's got 2 wins over Woodley. Obviously, Ben Askren. A couple of other guys. I don't know if they're YouTubers or I think one was maybe a former basketball player, something along those lines. But the fact is that he is 5-0. He does have some skill. And the main thing that he does have is fucking power. That right hand is dynamite. And, is he going to be able to connect on Silva? Is the big question. I mean, let's move over to Anderson Silva. Obviously, all MMA fans are familiar with Anderson Silva. Widely regarded as one of the greatest of all times, especially in the middleweight division where he dominated for so many fucking years. Now, as of late, he's gone 2 wins with 1 draw in his boxing, and that's just over the past year and a little bit, almost a year and a half. Chavez Jr., he's got a win over Chavez Jr., and that was his first boxing match coming out of the UFC. That one was huge. That's a huge fucking win for Anderson Silva. Next, he took on Tito Ortiz and knocked him out in the first round. It was a fantastic display by Silva, but when it comes down to it, I don't really believe that Tito should have been in the ring with anybody boxing. He just, you know what? He was close to being Iranian Hulk boxing. I mean, it was fucking ugly. I'll give Tito a little bit of credit. He did better than Iranian Hulk. At least he didn't just run and turn his back to his fucking opponent. But the fact is Tito looked sloppy as fuck. I mean, he looked sloppier than yeah. I could say some shit, but he just looks sloppy. Okay. So that win, I mean, I don't know. It looks good on paper. You got a fucking KO over Tito Ortiz. That's always good for the resume, but his skill level really wasn't. It was a mismatch. Let's just leave it at that. And then next he took on Bruno Azevedo. Probably butchered that name, but that's nothing new. Fuck. You might as well just call me Chael Sonnen because I can't pronounce any fucking names. This one was a draw. That went down in June of this year. This one, I don't remember that scrap at all. I don't remember even hearing about it. It's possible I wasn't even looking for it, but usually when Anderson Silva's fighting, the MMA community will let it be known. But for some reason that one, just zero fucking memory of that one. So there we go. I mean, recent, I was going to say skid, but that's definitely not the right word. The recent fights that Anderson Silva has had, he's gone 2 wins with 1 draw. Like I say, Chavez Jr., a huge fucking win for him. A huge win for Silva over Chavez Jr., that being a big boxing name. Now, let's get to Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. Like, get to the fucking meat. Done with these potatoes. Let's get to the fucking meat. I'm trying to picture Jake Paul knocking Anderson Silva out. And it's just not coming to me. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not saying that it can't happen, because this is fucking combat sports and we all know that anything can happen. But I just don't see it happening. Looking at my fucking crystal ball here, and I don't see Jake Paul being able to finish Anderson Silva if Anderson Silva is still Anderson Silva, right? Anderson Silva's movements, I think his movements, if he can fight like he used to with his movements, I mean, obviously Silva's going to be a little bit slower now that he's older. That's just a fact. Unfortunately, you get slower as you get older. But if he can pull out some of that classic fucking Anderson Silva, I mean, it would be awesome for Silva to make Paul look like a fool, like Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin, where Griffin came out there, thought he had a fucking chance until he just realized he was way in over his fucking head, talent wise. That would be fucking awesome to see. Now, I'm not gonna lie, obviously I'm cheering for Anderson Silva, being the MMA fan that I am. But I do want to give Jake Paul some respect, because even though I don't foresee him finishing Anderson Silva in any way, I just think Silva's going to be hard to hit. He's going to be harder to hit than any of Jake Paul's previous opponents. Silva's movements, everything like that, I'm thinking is probably going to throw Jake off a little bit. But that's not to say that Jake Paul can't fucking squeak out a decision victory here. I do think he has what it takes to last. I do think he has durability. He obviously can take a shot. Can he take a shot from one of the world's best strikers in Anderson Silva? Those are questions that are going to be answered on Saturday night. I can't fucking wait, actually. I don't know. As I'm talking here, I'm trying to play the fight out in my head, and it's murky. It's murky, folks. It's fucking murky. Can you imagine if Jake Paul beats Anderson Silva, though? I mean, the problem with Jake Paul is he'll never get credit for anything, really. He's never going to get the credit he deserves, because it's always going to be, well, if he beats Anderson Silva, then the excuse is Anderson Silva's, number one, not a boxer. Number two, he's old and way past his prime. You know, only Jake Paul could beat one of the world's best strikers and have the entire combat sports community basically just write it off. I mean, it's unfortunate for him, but at the same time, who fucking cares? Because he's working, he's banking fucking big coin, and he's helping other combat sports, mainly MMA guys, get a big fucking paycheck at the end of their career. I don't see anything wrong with this. Am I tired of the YouTube fights and the circus shit? Yes. But I don't see this one as much of a circus as Jake Paul versus Ben Askren was. I mean, Ben Askren in a boxing match? Come on. That's fucking circus shit. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva? We're starting to get serious here, folks. And I have a feeling that this is going to be a much closer fight than a lot of people reckon. Now, my prediction is Anderson Silva via decision. I strongly feel this one's going to go all the way. Whether or not Anderson Silva takes the decision, that's my pick. But I truly believe that this is going to go all the way. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a fight with really good portions. And hey, I'm looking forward to it. Why not, right? Shit like this you don't get to see very often, and you might as well just enjoy it. Might as well just enjoy it. Like I say, it's not as much of a circus train wreck as someone like Ben Askren or the Iranian Hulk, as I mentioned before. Shit like that, I'm done. But Jake Paul, Anderson Silva, this is a true test in my mind for Jake Paul. This is really going to tell us where he is. Now, yes, Anderson Silva is not a boxer professionally, but this is going to tell us where fucking Jake Paul is. If he goes out there and just Anderson Silva makes him look like a fucking fool, I don't know if he fights again. If he goes out there and beats one of MMA's greatest in boxing, then who's next? Like I say, I don't think he can get a fucking boxing opponent. He's just going to keep calling out big names that sell tickets, and they're all going to have a fucking payday. So that's Saturday, October 29th. Jake Paul, Anderson Silva. Are you guys watching? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know who you got winning this one. While you're there, give me a old thumbs up. Sure helps out the channel. That's pretty much my thoughts on Jake Paul, Anderson Silva here today. Like I say, I've got Silva via decision, but I truly believe it's going to be a test for him, and I think it's going to be a test for both men. I'm hoping to see Jake Paul maybe being taken into the deep end in this one, and see what he's really got. And as for Anderson Silva, same kind of fucking thing, man. He's old now. He's what, 46, 47, somewhere in there. Does he have what it what it takes to still do this. I mean, it's a legitimate question. Questions that are going to be answered. Saturday, October 29th, Glendale, Arizona. You're probably not going to want to miss this fight. It is also worth noting that Tapology has Uriah Hall fighting on this card as well. I think he's a featured bout. Now, I cannot confirm that, and sometimes Tapology doesn't update. So I will look into that a little bit more, but you're definitely going to want to check out Jake Paul, Anderson Silva, a little Halloween treat for us fight fans. Till next time, everybody, take care and peace.